I had another wireless thermometer display give out. What they do, no surprise there. And so I went on the computer to order some new ones, and I saw this at the bottom of the page. It just proves that stupid advertising actually works. This is the Accurite Digitan refrigerator and freezer thermometer. This was inexpensive. It was only like $15, I think. Anyways, I kind of wanted something like this for this refrigerator here, because I'm not super confident in the temperature control mechanism. When I was looking for the refrigerators, because I couldn't find a vintage one in time, I knew that I had wanted the R134 refrigerant, the incandescent lighting, and the manual control, which is all basic features that I thought I'd be able to get. And I was able to find models with the models that had every one of those features, but what I couldn't find is a single model that had all three of those functions. And so I had to settle for some funny new refrigerant, which interestingly enough is actually relatively low pressure, at least. And I had to settle for electronics controls in order to get the incandescent light bulb, because I figured the biggest nuisance is going to be the LED lighting, because that you use the light every time you open the refrigerator, whereas the refrigerant, you don't really work with the refrigerant ever, and you don't adjust the temperature very often at all. Usually you set it once and you don't mess with it for years. So this is what this will look like. It's the electronic controls, and the problem is the recommended one I find is a little bit too cold, in the sense that sometimes the tops of drinks will freeze, and sometimes the vegetables will freeze if they're in the back. But then the one setting down is a little bit not as cold as I'd like for, like a soda or something like that. So the annoyance of it being electronics controls is that there's some increment that control mechanism uses. I don't know if it's 3 degrees or 5 degrees or whatever it is, but you can't just make a very precise small adjustment like you would with an analog dial. I don't know what the increment is. I could probably find out if I look at the manual or something, but it's inconsequential really, because that's what I'm stuck with. So what the problem is, like if the swing is, say the swing is 4 degrees and the increments are 3 degrees or 5 degrees, you could end up with a 7-10 degree difference depending on where you set it. So if we could just see what it is, it would at least solve my curiosity. And it's probably good to have this and monitor it just in case if it ever broke, or should I say when it breaks, because I'm sure it ain't gonna last too long. Speaking of which, it just turned on. Come on. Too much tape on this box. Way too much tape. Okay, so here's the Digitan readout. Holy mackerel. Seriously? So it looks like this is the magnetic, or it could sit on the counter, or it could hang on the wall. And then here's the thermometers themselves, which are cordless. Yeah, it looks like there's suction options, clipping, or that might be a magnet, I think. Probably says in this 50-page manual, but I'm not really sure who has time to read all that. I sure don't. Anyways, let's see what kind of batteries that we need here. A little bit difficult to open. Okay, it looks like it's going to need the AAA batteries for the receiver, and the transmitters take the AA batteries. I have the AA batteries on hand. Let me see if I have any AAA batteries. Found some batteries. We'll use nickel metal hydride batteries into the receiver here, but I don't want to put NIM batteries in the freezer. That's not really setting up for success. So got that, and then I grabbed these out of the other thermometer. I had a hard time finding some alkaline batteries. I really don't use alkaline batteries anymore. I don't like them. I think they're material waste, and they tend to leak and damage the equipment anyways. Alright, so it looks like the sensor number 2 is the battery is low. Oh well. So I guess this will just we'll stick this up here like this, and that can just kind of monitor the temperatures in the freezer and the refrigerator. And now let's see what we want to do with this stuff here. I'm thinking maybe I'll just like clip it underneath one of the shelves or something. Like if I do this, that's probably pretty good. Or I could let's see. Yeah, that might be the only option. I don't really want to clip it onto the edge of the that might be in the way though. I don't want to suction it to the wall because I don't think that's going to be a real accurate reading, you know, because the wall might be a different temperature. So I think for the purposes of the accuracy, we're going to want to have it kind of in the middle like this. I don't know that that's really the middle, but it's close enough. So that's that. I'm going to have to get some more batteries because inherently one of these is on its way out. Let's see, I wanted to put sensor number 1 in the freezer because it would make more sense to read it that way because it's the top. And I did. Okay, good. I'd like to say that was intentional, but it admittedly was pure chance. Okay, so this is up there now. It's installed, and this of course is going to take some time to adjust to the temperatures inside the unit. But after a couple hours, it should come down to accuracy, and we have the minimum and max thing, which I'll clear out once it reaches a reasonable temperature, and then I'll be able to see what the temperature swing is in there.